Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video. And in this video, as you could probably see by the title, I'm going to be doing a preview of what I think for my score predictions for every single game in Game Week 24. I'll be doing this for every single game week. The only game I won't be doing is the Leeds Everton game, as I'm a Leeds fan. I'll be doing I do previews, and reviews for those games, so that won't be told. So I'm not going to be actually doing those games, the Leeds games, because I do previews before the game anyway. Anyway, so let's get into it. The first game is Aston Villa versus Arsenal at Villa Park. In this game, I think Arsenal will win. I think they'll get back to winning ways as they haven't got a win at all in February. The last four games they've had, they have not been good. Um, but dropping the title is not. You can call it a bottle, but for the points ahead, you guess you can call it they bottled it because I think City are going to win the league. But I think they'll win this game and get back to winning ways against Aston Villa. I'm going to go 3-1 Arsenal. Next up, we got Brentford versus Crystal Palace. Brentford are high. They're flying this season. They've been doing really good. Palace is doing all right, mid-table. But I think the way Brentford have played against the big teams this season, I think this will be since they've played so well against the big teams, I think this will be a Brentford win. I'm going to go 2-0 Brentford. And yeah, I think they'll just win it. Brighton versus Fulham. See, this is a really interesting game. This is a battle for Europa League, Conference, whatever it's called. But this is a big game for both teams to see if they can get not into the Conference League, but into the Europa League. I'm not really sure how that works. I can't really remember, but they are really going. Both teams are doing high above expectations, especially Fulham, who just came up this season and have been blowing it out the water, been really, really good. But Brighton being at home at the Amex, I think they'll have too much for Fulham, and I'm going to go with a 1-0 narrow win for Brighton. Next up, we got Chelsea versus Southampton. Chelsea have made so many signings, bringing in a lot of players like Mudryk, Felix, and they bring in all these players. And the money they've spent this window has been ridiculous, and they still haven't won since they brought all those signings in. They're playing a Southampton team who are struggling with no manager, who are really struggling this season and look like they are going to go down. I think they will go down, and that's why I'm going to say Chelsea will win. But the way Chelsea have been playing, I think it's just going to be a narrow 1-0 win. Next up, we got Nottingham Forest versus Manchester City. City, I mean, is this even a question that you have to talk about? Man City, extraordinary, have been extraordinary as always this season, like every season. Top of the league right now, and I think they'll continue that with a win against Forest. So I'm going to go 3-0. I think they'll get a 3-0 win against Nottingham Forest. Next up is Wolves versus Bournemouth. Bournemouth started the season really well and have kind of just they started so well the season and they kind of just fallen off and back down to a relegation battle. Wolves haven't been that good this season, but they'll have enough for Bournemouth. They just beat Liverpool 3-0 not long ago, and I think Wolves will have enough for Bournemouth. I'm going to go 2-0 to Wolves. Next up is the Newcastle versus Liverpool. The only team to beat Newcastle this season was Liverpool with a last-minute goal to win them the game. This time, but Newcastle being at home, I think the atmosphere in the crowd in that stadium will just give them the edge. And I think they're gonna. Well, Liverpool have also not been on a great run of form. They've been not that good. They did win last week, but the way they've been playing is not that good. Newcastle, I think, are gonna win, and I'm gonna go 2-1. I think they'll just get a nice 2-1 win, revenge for when they lost 2-1 at Anfield. Yeah. Next up, Manchester United versus Leicester. Manchester United have been on a great run of form. They so far are third. They may finish second if Arsenal start bottling it and falling, which I don't know. That could happen. Rashford is on extraordinary great form. Extraordinary great form. I don't know if that's the word. He's on great form. He just scored against Barcelona as well, and he's inevitable at the moment. And against a Leicester team that's not really been that great this season, I think it'll be a comfortable 2-0 win. Last game of Game Week 24, we've got Spurs versus West Ham. Spurs, after the back of beating Man City 1-0, they then lose 4-1 to Leicester City, and everything all the good work they did to beat Manchester City just went downhill with that loss. They got players out. I don't know who's back. I think Lloris is out. I know that. And Benton calls out for the entire season, which I think destroys their chance of making top four just because he's their best player on the field. He's their best player, I think. Spurs, though, I think will have too much for West Ham, who are struggling on form under David Moyes, and he might lose his job by the end of the season, or maybe at the end of the season they might move on to someone else to manage the team to get a new manager. I think West Ham will stay up though, so I think they will keep David Moyes, but I think they'll get rid of him as soon as the season ends. I'm going for a Spurs 3-1 win. I think they'll win 3-1. Thanks for watching the video. If you like the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what team you support in the comments below. Give me your score predictions for some of the games if you want. And thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next time. Peace.